Hi and welcome to Little Bits Honeybees YouTube channel. I'm the Skinny Bee Man. Today is July 7th. Been catching queens all day, putting virgins in, getting ready queens to mail off. We did reach 1 million views. We're over like 1,002,000 or something now. And I appreciate you guys all watching and supporting the channel. You guys give me a lot of good ideas for videos, and I'm probably going to use a bunch of them. But I said I was going to pick a winner, and I picked a winner based on what's happening right now and what a lot of people have trouble with. And we're trying to think what I was going to say. But anyway, and there was a couple, 3 of you give this same idea, but this guy here was the first. So I'm going to announce the winner first. The winner of the free queen is Shake and Bake 68-69. I'll leave an email link in the description. Shake and Bake, you can contact me and I'll get your queen to you. Like I say, I appreciate all of you. But the subject was robbing. The best way to handle robbing is not to get it started. There's a lot of little things that you can do to keep the robbing at a minimum. Number one, you can run all strong hives. If they're all strong and equal, you usually don't have too much trouble with robbing. That's one thing. But a lot of times you end up with a weak split, this, that, and the other. And then you got to deal with robbing issues. Here, I put these robbing screens on here on every split. Every time I make a split, I put a robbing screen on, because once you get them started robbing, you can't get it stopped. You've got to take that hive and move it out of the yard. You can pin it up, move it in your yard, they'll find it, continue to rob it out. We're sitting here talking, we got a virgin in the yard, and you see all these bees flying right here. They're probably going to lighten this little apple tree. Another mating swarm coming in. Like I say, once it gets started, the only way I know to save the hive is just to lock it up and take it plumb out of the yard, a mile or 2 away, and then you've got a chance on that. But the robbing screens is a big plus, and these particular ones I use are 3D printed. The manufacturer has got to run done on them, and they're supposed to have them out anytime. When they do, I'll give you the name of the manufacturer and where you can buy some of these 3D products that I use. I've showed you how to make them. I got a video out there showing you how to make them out of 1/8 inch hardware cloth. Works just as good, just don't look as neat. But that's one thing. Keep your yard equalized. You've got one super strong hive, pull some brood out of that, move it to the weaker hive. I wouldn't put the bees in it, but I would put the brood in it, and that way you're cutting the strong hive down and you're increasing the weak hive. The next thing is in a dearth. I'm in a dearth right now bad. I'm feeding anywhere from 25 to 30 gallons of sugar syrup a day in this yard. Don't feed on the hive top feeders or entrance feeders in a dearth. It causes robbing. It's just that plain and simple. Just don't do it. And by all means, on your feed, when you're feeding sugar water in a dearth, don't mix in your essential oils in there. It will cause robbing, especially lemongrass oil. You can get by with putting a little tea tree oil in there, but I'd stay away from the lemongrass for sure, and the spearmint, and the wintergreen, and lavender. I would kind of not do that on that. Absolutely don't throw a frame of honey out in your yard for the bees to rob in a dearth. That will absolutely get a whole yard robbing. It's a no-no. If you're going to do that, carry it out there a couple hundred yards away from your hives and put it in a box and only leave about an inch hole for them to get in. That way they got to come in and out orderly. They won't frenzy feed on it like a bunch of sharks. Told you this was a little mating swarm was going to land. I seen them coming. I've got so much to do, they'll have to find their box. They found their way out of it, they'll have to find their way back in. But like I say, on the honey, now you can get by feeding a little honey in the yard in a box, kind of off the side when there's a good honey flow on, but not in the dearth. It's just, it'll cause robbing. And like I say, that's the main thing. Don't get it started. You get it started, it's hard to, it'll annihilate a yard. You can take a yard this size, and if you get it going on real bad in a day, there won't be nothing left when you get back. If it gets really bad and you can't control it, I mean, all of a sudden, you can go by and pop the feeders off, or the lids off, the stronger hives, and they'll have to start guarding all that top entrance, and that'll help slack off the robbing frenzy. The main way I keep robbing down in this yard is to open feed. And the first thing everybody's going to say, open feed causes robbing. Yep, it does. If you don't open feed right, it will cause robbing, absolutely. But if it's fed right and you keep your bees fed up, they're not looking. You see these boxes here. I've been in a dearth for 3 weeks. You look in the vent hose. There's no bees hanging around the vent hose sniffing. Scout bees. They're getting plenty of food, so they're not looking to rob. If you keep them fed up well, and they're not looking, keep them busy. I keep the pollen feeders full. That keeps a lot of bees busy. They haven't been on the pollen too much, but the sugar syrup they have. Granddaughter's little red wagon makes a good pollen feed, because when they get to feeding, the feeders ain't enough. So I just put it out here and haul it back in the garage every night, and that keeps them busy. Now, to open feed the right way, you need it out there at least a couple hundred yards from your hives. And once you start feeding, you can't let the feeders run dry. You got to keep sugar water in there continuously, because when they're swarm feeding on them tubs, they run dry, they'll start looking, and the robbing will start immediately. I was sick here 2 weeks ago, and I didn't get fed for a day, and I had a couple hives robbed out. That's the only instances I've had all summer on the robbing, or on getting robbed out. The rest of it, you can see these bees right here flying. I don't know if you can even get, it's kind of facing the sun. You probably can't tell what they're doing. But these bees are going right here. This yard's all low, and my house is about 28 feet to the peak. And my feeding station is out of line of sight. You either got to feed 200 yards away or out of line of sight. We're going to go around here and show you the feed station. I'm feeding within 50 foot of some hives, but they've got to fly up over the house and back down into the feeding station. And the reason that works, or that's what I've been told, is if you open feed in your yard, the bee come back in, does the waggle dance, and if it's in the yard, she'll point the direction and say it's close. Well, if they can't find it immediately, they start looking in other boxes, and that causes robbing. Here, they got to do a whole waggle dance, so they know exactly where it's at. They don't look, and I don't know. Hopefully you can see this right here. Can you see this line of bees coming up and going over the house? They're coming up, going over. But they're out of line of sight. And here's my feeding station. I'm feeding, like I say, between 25 and 30 gallons a day right here. I put it out a couple hours ago. It's probably getting light again. Now that one's still got. That one's empty. As you can see, this is how I feed. It's just totes. You cut some holes in the ends and the sides. Let me get a close up of the hole. I don't know, about 2.5 inch holes. I put about 3 down each side, 1 in each end. And you lay some 2-inch strips of 1x in the bottom. Don't make them fit tight, make them loose from the ends so they can go up and down. Space them out, I don't know, an inch or so all the way across the bottom, and throw you a bunch of straw on there and just dump the sugar water in. They do just fine. It does kill a few bees, but I've tried other ways and it kills more bees, so this is the most efficient way I've found to feed. And it keeps them busy. If you keep them busy, well fed, you shouldn't have any trouble robbing. Don't use the essential oils. Absolutely don't feed right in the yard. And that's about it. That's about the only thing I know about robbing, because once you get it started, you can't win other than just take them out of the yard. If you like the videos, hit the subscribe button, the bell next to it, and you'll get notified when we put more out. Thanks everybody for watching and supporting the channel.